Welcome. I'm Amy Beth Shaver. She's Allison Sinclair with JP. Welcome to Rightside Radio, where we're just thrilled we made it to Friday. Okay?
We're thrilled. It's Friday already.
Thank you, Lord, for letting someone invent Diet Coke, and for Allison Sinclair stocking the fridge with it.
Are you a Diet Coker or a Coke Zero?
I'm actually, I love, we're not going to be friends after I say this.
What? Monster?
I love Pepsi.
So every now and then.
But listen, it's because my mom made pizza on Sunday night growing up, and we did Pepsi or Verner's. Have you had Verner's before?
Is that an Alabama thing?
It's a ginger ale thing. No, she's from Ohio.
But
it's in the grocery stores here because it's fabulous. Anywho, but Diet Coke I can do with, and the bubbles are delicious on date. Like when you don't have it often.
Yeah.
So thanks, Allison, for the Diet Coke.
You're welcome. Have you ever had Mexican Diet Coke?
Only Mexican Coke, which is outstandanding.
Yeah, even the Diet Coke is better.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it in glass bottles as well?
You can get it in glass bottles, but it's definitely better. It's weird. I don't know why we can't import it. It's like the one good thing. But I'm not risking my life to go to Mexico to get one.
Yeah, no.
Well, RFK just made them start putting cane sugar in. So I think that's what makes the Mexican Coke good is it's cane sugar. So maybe we'll have it here.
Man, and I didn't know the glories of it until we traveled somewhere. And I'm like, oh, that's what everybody's raving about. So.
They can't use high fructose corn syrup anymore? Like he really said afuera?
Afuera. Hold on.
Afuera. He did. He said it.
And that's Mexican.
Did you?
Oh, no, that's Spanish.
Okay, so in July 2025, the Coca-Cola Company confirmed plans to introduce a new version of its signature soda sweetened with U.S. cane sugar. So I guess they're making a cane sugar option now.
Okay. Well, everybody go buy that. It's much better.
It is much better. And if you have to have one, I don't drink them often, but they are so good. So it's a great way to kick off a Friday. And it's a Friday show that is going to be like no other. Not only do we have JP's Miraculous Montage, and that's chock full of good stories, we also have JP on Sports. And beyond that, at 3:30, I'm not going to tell you to set your DVR because you can't do that.
TiVo.
Just set a reminder. If you got to go do something and you're just going to come back, you're going to come back and listen to James Lindsay. Because for Allison and I, he's probably the first person when we got started back in politics again, because both of us have been involved basically since we were in college in one way or the other. He's one of the first ones that I came across, and he started to explain critical theory, and he started explaining the definitions and lysinkoism, for example, and medical lysinkoism back during COVID. It's when we had a lot of time to listen to things.
Word.
It's a big word. Basically, it's essentially murdering people in a very sweet way. It's not sweet. I'm kidding. But he's the one that the first time I heard him explain things, I stopped what I was doing. I grabbed a notebook and I was like, I don't care what else I've got to do today. I'm listening to this guy. And you can say what you want, think what you want. It's a free country. You're a free person. But we have him on to really break down what is going on in Minnesota and why. And his reaction, his statement that we've repeated this week sometimes is the reaction is what they're after. That's what communists are after, is what we do next. And so we want to know what he thinks is next. And then there's another topic, and you're going to have to stay tuned for that he's going to cover as well.
Well, he's very honest about who he is. He's an atheist, although he knows a lot of scripture. I think, I don't know if he's listening now, but I think he's on a God journey. I pray for him.
Oh, he's on a God journey. He just may not want to admit it.
But he's a self-proclaimed atheist and is very much an academic. He wrote Cynical Theories. That's probably the first one that y'all heard about in 2020. He wrote Race, Marxism, The Truth About Critical Race Theory and Praxis. And then the one that came out, I think you and I both bought this book, The Queering of the American Child, How a New School
Yes.
Religious
Ugh.
Cult Poisons the Minds and Bodies of Normal Kids. He has a podcast, New Discourses. So the conservative movement was, besides the God thing, was generally behind him until recently. And he's the one that coined the term woke right, or that's really who I first started hearing talk about it. And so we kind of verge on some things. And actually, as I've been talking to him, I told him, I was like, you're probably going to call me a Christian nationalist, and I'm going to disagree with some of the things you have to say, but I think that's okay. And our listeners are smart enough to go, maybe he's right. Nope, totally disagree with that. Or yes, I've never thought about it that way. Like, y'all can decide for yourselves what you believe, but I think it's good. He is so smart. There is no getting around. He was like the OG of this critical race theory, critical theory stuff, and will perfectly illustrate, my hope is, what happened in Minneapolis and how the left's playbook of rules for radicals was played out. So anyway, you're really not going to want to miss it. For any other reason, it'll probably be a really good, heated debate. I don't know. Maybe we'll agree with him on everything. He kind of will surprise you.
He will surprise you. And I'm interested in that topic that he decided he wanted to cover. You're going to have to stay tuned for. I'm interested in that.
No. I asked him if.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was like, we've got to go over this.
Clearly, I read the text wrong. Doesn't matter. He's going to talk about it. And it's funny, Chris pointed me in the direction of another podcast to listen to, which happens to dovetail with what he wants to talk about. So I'm interested in topic number 2. That's behind door number 2. And you're going to just
Is that the teaser?
Stick with us.
Not an inside joke. It's just a teaser.
No, that's a teaser.
Like, you got to stick around.
Yeah, for what's happening.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff is happening around the world. And in our next segment, we will get to the montage. But when you think things can't get worse, they generally do. And one of the stories that JP has for us, and I don't know which one of us sent it in or if JP did it. I'm amazed at the things that'll come out of people's mouths. It shouldn't be, but I'm amazed. Okay. I'm amazed.
Is this the Christy Nome? Is this the?
Yeah, perhaps.
Okay.
Perhaps it is. And then, but on a happy note, have y'all seen what Javier Milei did in his interview with that?
Afuera! Did he do it again?
Well, it's just fantastic.
What did he do?
Well, we got to watch it in break because it's in Spanish.
I don't like inside jokes.
No, it's not an inside joke. It's a go watch Javier Milei's latest interview, because he's just calling people out, and the journalist interviewing him doesn't understand why he's just speaking plainly and swearing. It's what they do right now. But Allison Sinclair, I couldn't help but think of us and this is what we're doing. This is what I really think, and you're going to deal with it. It was refreshing.
Interpret it, because I was president of the Spanish club in high school. I don't know why you're laughing.
Two of my kids loved Spanish and were very good at it.
Can't speak it. I can read it pretty well. I just did it because we got to go to really fun restaurants, and I got to choose the restaurants.
Wait, are you serious? In Spanish club, you got to go.
Yeah, you got to go taste the frappes, the empanadas, and beans. No, I really was president of the Spanish club.
Of course you were.
Also, I don't know if y'all saw this, but it was about 20, 30 minutes ago. Apparently, the cop that shot the protester was filming with his phone the whole time as it happened. And the video recording is now out today of the incident from his point of view.
Oh, wow.
Can we play it on the other side? Or does it have some words?
Yeah, probably not on the air, but if y'all haven't seen it, then y'all too need to watch it.
Secrets hurt people's feelings.
Okay, well, the FCC will not allow me to play it on the air. So if y'all want to check it out,
Eminem said too. The FCC won't let me be.
They won't.
Nope.
They hate fun. But yeah, it documents it for like 2 minutes before it happened, and then the incident.
Oh, we got to.
So it gives you a full context from actually the cop's point of view, and if we need to watch it, it vindicates that he did the right thing. I'll just say that.
I can't wait to see it.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a tragic situation all the way around. However, this idea that the lies get told and twisted and believed, that this person was just a mom dropping off after carpool and ignoring her history of being a trained agitator, is offensive.
I did read that she had moved to Minneapolis like a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and her child was. So we were wrong. We need to retract that. Yesterday, I was like, "What mom would leave her child in Oregon or wherever?"
Oh, yes, you're right. You're right.
So she had moved there, but yeah, apparently this was her job.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
And it was easy to find. So this was a tragedy all the way around. But within the tragedy, we have to deal with the lies that have been told, and we're not going to be able to stand for those anymore. We're just not. So, it's a whole day.
Not going to do it.
Mm-mm.
Your iPad just dinged.
I was just texting y'all the video to watch in the break, actually. So yeah, that was
Thanks,
me.
JP.
Okay. Well, we'll go to break now. We'll watch the video. Y'all should look it up. What do you just type in? Cop's view.
I'm sure if you go to Twitter, I went to Eric Daugherty's Twitter and I found it there. But if you go to Twitter and look up Minneapolis Ice Age, I'm sure you'll find it. It's going viral.
Okay.
So
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
We'll be back.
Welcome to Rightside Radio, or welcome back. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. JP, you have quite the montage for us today, and we can't wait to hear about it. And then we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk through the montage and then work our way into the 3:30 segment. And then after that, in the 4:00 hour, JP on sports
JP
and whatever else whatever else we didn't get to, we'll cover. But it's a day. It's a Friday. And this is not a throwaway Friday. This is a Friday. So buckle up, friends.
Friday.
Do we?
Yeah.
I wanted to just quickly say that we watched that video during the break. Follow up on that. Clearly, it's exactly what we were talking about yesterday with James Lindsay always says it's like your little brother going, I'm not touching you with their finger in your face. That's exactly what, and because I guess her wife, her partner was out there and was in the road as she was driving the car. And that's exactly what she was doing. And then clearly he gets hit and falls and she goes, but I never heard the gunshot.
I did.
Yeah, there's 3 in there. It was
There's
after
3?
It was after he goes, oh, and you hear 3 gunshots. But also the wife yells, drive, drive, drive. I don't know if y'all heard that in the video too. So imagine that. That lady's threatening you.
Gosh.
And then while you're in front of the car, they go, drive, drive, drive. And then the car floors it at you. Yeah. So
Anyway.
At the officer who had been stitched up to the tune of 66 stitches the last time he was rammed.
yeah, exactly. Earlier this year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Over 100 people.
Car rammings.
Car rammings. So
Do you think this changes their narrative at all? Do they go, oh, we were wrong?
The truth never matters to them. No. So
it doesn't.
It just gives us more vindication that he did the right thing. So, but no, it's not going to matter to them. The truth hasn't mattered to them ever. So is it montage time?
It's montage time.
Okay. Stand by for news.
Time for news.
If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent, is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here.
I mean, part of it is being like a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege. So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this for a long time.
And we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country.
So y'all remember Michael Byrd from January 6th? This is the Capitol Hill police officer who decided to murder an unarmed Ashley Babbitt. Well, guess what kind of business he runs out of his home? Yes, he's got some Somali friends who turned him onto a good venture. Yeah, apparently, Robert Byrd has been running a daycare out of his house for the last 17 years. Just to add a little more intrigue, somehow, in 17 years, the Byrd's Family Daycare in Brandywine has 0 reviews. Not a single parent has said they sent their kids there. But that hasn't stopped Mr. Byrd from raking in millions.
You obviously have Skid Row there. That's been a big issue for years. But then you have $24 billion that just went missing for the homeless, that went unaccounted for.
What?
Have you not heard about that?
No.
Over $24 billion went unaccounted for to fight homelessness.
Are you saying million or billion with a B?
Billion with a B.
$24 billion went missing?
Just went missing. And meanwhile, Gavin Newsom's buying a $9 million mansion in the Bay Area.
Well.
I run a daycare. I have 4 participants in that said daycare.
Add your pets in.
Yeah, even more. I feed and clothe and counsel every day. I teach.
We were taxi drivers.
Yes. We were transportation's another way you can get money.
Medical transport for the times we had to take them to the hospital or the ER or the just doctor.
I mean, literally, if you're listening on the radio and you didn't see that clip for what's the biscuit's name, the police officer, the Capitol Hill that shot Ashley Babbitt.
Robert
Byrd. It showed the web listing for his daycare, and it's a home, and it
A nice
said,
home.
the Bird's Family Daycare. And I'm like, we can all do that. Sinclair Family Daycare. Give me $1 million.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about getting that federally subsidized?
I am now. Thanks for
That's
the
a good idea.
tips.
You know what? And if I get that, there will be signs.
We
And I
provide
will
lunch
not be here.
and breakfast so the
No,
kids
I'm
don't
kidding, I will
starve.
be here. Yeah. That is just quite ironic that this is what he does for a living, and that he just kind of had disappeared from view. And now we know you're running a daycare.
But they said 17 years.
That's a long time.
So he was that and a Capitol police officer? Or was he hired for that day? He's really not a Capitol police officer. He's just we need somebody to stand in. Don't worry, we'll take care of you. We'll give you millions for daycare. We just need you to come shoot someone. Got you.
Scary conspiracy hat on.
Look, I'm telling you, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I guess
Because
not
what? He
anymore.
just disappeared. He shot and killed someone, and he never went to jail, but grandma went to jail for J6. Still there. Or did she get out?
No, she's still there.
What's her name?
Can't remember. Sue.
Is it
Sue?
Sue?
Wait, I
Brenda.
don't know.
No. I
I'm
just
gonna look
made
her
that up.
It might be. It's something like that. Anyway, we'll be back with some more stories on the other side.
Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, who is laughing. JP, what are you cracking yourself up about?
Whatever Allison's looking at me and laughing about.
Well, JP, just you speak with your face. Like you can see everything you're thinking and feeling on your face.
Yeah, I do.
And then when you get yourself laughing, it makes me laugh. I don't know what you were doing, but you were like giggling to yourself.
I don't know either. I can turn a poker face on, but if I'm comfortable, I talk to myself in my head. So I react to everything I say to myself.
Yeah.
And go back, yeah.
The eyebrows go.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so this look, who has the first bit of news? Mexican cartels.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a big deal. All right, my question to y'all is this. We're talking about Mexican cartels. We're talking about getting Mexican back into Mexican hands. I don't know how that's going to happen. Not that he said that. He said he wants it to be beautiful again or some such. What does it look like? What does this op mean? How are they going to steal Mexico back from the cartels?
Well, I mean, he said we're about to start land strikes. So they're going to start strategically targeting all of the drug manufacturing houses. I don't know where maybe the fields.
Oh yeah, I'm
know.
sure that we've already got sites singled out of not only manufacturing spots, but like, hotbeds that they go and maybe train or stay or whatever. I think this is the big win. I would worry though. I can't remember who it was. It's this really popular former Delta guy who's really made the rounds within the last couple of years. I cannot remember his name. I can see his face, but he was asked in an interview about going to war with the cartels and if he would be for, sending special forces into Mexico to go there and fight them. And he said that may be a lot harder than people realize because the cartels own they know the territory, they have the weapons, and they are ruthless. Like they will literally skin you alive, ruthless. And we're kind of going into uncharted territory if we're actually putting boots on the ground there because we're going into their world. So I think actually doing strikes on their facilities is the better way to go. However, I mean, Mexico is a sovereign nation. So the question is, how much do they welcome those strikes? And what will Mexico's response be? Because if I'm Mexico, I'd want them. I'd want the strikes to happen because, my country is being overrun by these animals. But I wonder if Scheinbaum may be blackmailed or something, and maybe she will be targeted by the cartels if she doesn't somehow stop Trump from doing it, Yeah. So it's really like a weird situation, but I'm for it for sure. Because they can't keep doing what they're doing.
What do you think?
I don't think we have an option. It's probably long overdue. But it is scary. It's urban warfare and it could devolve very quickly. I mean, that's like, I think about Vietnam. You get in some weird terrain. I mean, and they know their territories and they're ruthless. They're bad. Like we think the mobs are bad. Chicago crime families. These are like barbaric, ruthless. I don't think it's worth having like traditional boots on the ground. There's other ways we can deal with that. So I'm hoping this is just when he says land, I hope this is just targeted like Iran. Just take it out and get out.
Do you think that there's any chance when this happens, let's say the strikes are targeted, that the heads of the various cartels would not choose to come and find the people who ordered the strikes or the people who were involved? Because if they're ruthless, then on their end, they are going to try to come find the people who are doing it. Don't you think?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to be able to come across our border with how it is now and do anything. So the only way they can really do something is if we go into their territory. I don't worry about them coming into ours, which is why I think we don't need to go in, just, strike them. And it'll probably be just targeted sites that are actively bringing drugs to America. We probably won't go like full every single site. I'm sure they've already got sites singled out of ones that are drug trafficking and human trafficking and such. We'll probably go after those. I'm not worried about them coming into ours, but yeah, I worry about going into their territory because I feel like a lot of U.S. troops will probably get killed.
Yeah, there's the word terror doesn't seem to be deep enough to describe what these people are capable of.
I totally disagree with you, JP, on this one because
Really?
I think they already have people here. MS-13, they already have so many connections, probably to our politicians that are helping. I mean, you don't traffic that much. You don't have the without cooperation from local police officers and sheriffs and border patrol and state governments and federal government officials, you aren't able to run your operation as well as they have. There are obviously people that are in the United States already that are involved in this. And I'm sure they have people here already that are ready at a moment's notice to go take out whoever they need to. You don't have to cross the border.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
I guess I don't worry as much about the Mexican cartels as like MS-13, Venezuela, Tren de Aragua. I believe it's also Venezuela or Colombia.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about those than like the Mexican. What's the name of like the Mexican
Sinaloa.
Sinaloa. So I
Cartel of the Sun.
Cartel of the Sun. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess I'm not as concerned as Mexican cartels like being embedded as I am like the Venezuelans, like the ones that would just take over hotels in Colorado, which Trump is trying to deport with the Alien Enemies Act. So I hear what you're saying. I guess I don't think that the Mexican cartels have enough here to actually be a threat.
Have you not watched Landman?
No.
Land. Oh, is that Billy Bob?
Yeah, Landman. It's all. Yeah, they're all. I mean,
they're all here.
In my head, that's really how it goes down.
Okay,
Yeah.
but enough here to actually be something to consider.
Well, I'm saying they're not coming at us with like AR-15s, in the middle of Walmart. No, but if they say, if we start picking off facilities in Mexico, they're like, okay, one of you has to die. One of your own has to die.
That's what I think
a
will
targeted
happen.
sniper attack, one shot, but it sends a clear message. Or they might just hang somebody in the town square and scalp them and hang them up, and that would be which they do.
I also think if we start these strikes, that we're going to see a lot of cartel members retire early. Maybe
perhaps
the top dogs will want to fight but I feel like a lot of the cartels like, okay, I was for, maybe, but the United States military, I think I'm going to go home,
Yeah.
Okay. So what's happened with the boats? Have the boats slowed down? Was that a deterrent? We blew up some boats.
Yeah.
It depends on the day. I mean, they're still blowing up boats. They're still coming. So I think, yeah, they're going to be everywhere. They're like whack-a-mole. I think what we have to be prepared for is on the other side here. I'm blanking on one of our favorite movies, and it'll come to me in the break. But I think we have to be prepared for what they will do. Sicario. Have you seen the movie Sicario?
Oh, that's good.
That's what I think.
Forget Landman.
Would happen.
No, watch Landman too. Well, no, it's kind of
here is if we target there. That's what I'm afraid of. Here is the targeted strikes here as well. Okay, you're gonna take you out. All right, well, we're gonna go get this guy. We're gonna go get that girl. But the other part though is that Claudia Sheinbaum has let the cartels run over her even the short time that she's been in office. And I know she's been in politics, but I heard a couple of comments that she's made about the cartels and they're not being, much of a deal. And I think, are you awake? Are you alive? So I don't know. This is a great plan to go and help wrest control back from the cartels. But what can you really do when the leadership of your country is not for what you're doing? Like, what are you gaining? I think it should be done.
You mean like long term?
But long term,
yeah.
What's the gain? What's the end goal when Sheinbaum is not into this? Are we going to have a regime change there as well?
You know what? Well, I think Trump was kind of insinuating with his comments about the cartels running Mexico is we're not dealing with Sheinbaum. When we talk to Mexico, we're dealing with these guys because they're so embedded in the government. So it's kind of like,
okay, it's
kind of like the UN. It's like, oh, the UN. Okay. It's like Sheinbaum. Okay. Yeah. Let me talk to your boss, Senor, whatever his name is, cartel leader. Like that. I think that's kind of what he was insinuating as Sheinbaum. Like, I understand she's the president of a sovereign nation, but I think it's pretty clear she's not calling the shots. I think she's listening to her cartel bosses. So
yeah, you don't get that high up without being part of that system.
Which okay, if that's how your nation is, not our problem. It becomes our problem whenever you start to kill Americans via that. And
Right.
I think that's where we're going to say, okay, we're not gonna let that happen anymore. So I don't know. I like I said earlier, I'm still of the belief. I'm still of the belief that a lot of cartel members will dip out and not be willing to fight the U.S. military whenever these start. So I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, even if there were, sleeper cells here, and strikes start to happen, it's like, hey, I need you to do this. It's like, no, sorry, I'm not doing that. That's so. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I say do it.
Yeah. Interesting. It's really interesting. I just like that Trump doesn't mess around. He comes up with an idea. This is what we're going to talk about now. I know they've always been a plan, but I think on the other side, what do you do when the country that you're trying to help doesn't really seem to want to help itself?
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to have to shut her mouth now, too, because did y'all see right after the Venezuela strike, she came out and made a post and was like, if it's really about the drugs, then why isn't he going after Mexico and bombing Mexico?
That was really good, Allison.
Meanwhile, she's got her surfboard in Costa Rica because she bought a house in Costa Rica with her stock trading money. By the way, did y'all see can I change the subject?
Yeah. We can,
okay,
yeah.
I already did. The highest profiting stock traders in Congress came out. Did y'all see that list
No.
for 2024? I'm gonna have to go back and find it.
I bet one of our own was in the top 5.
No, actually.
Really?
On
That's
the
a
list,
surprise.
on the top of the list, but not the top 5. But anyway,
That's a more fun list than my 17 lawmakers who voted with Dems to remove or revive Obamacare subsidies.
no, that's a good one too.
Thanks, guys.
Anybody?
Well, we'll just have to see.
Okay.
But this list, see, I remember the last time you read this list.
I'm gonna
It's
have
quite
to
a
go.
list.
Yeah, and you want to be like it's going to be all Democrat.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
No,
I would argue.
No.
I'm thinking there might be more Republicans.
Of
on the
course, there's
list.
more Republicans.
Can we do that on the other side?
Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
And then JP, wait, you've got a good story.
Okay, I've got a discussion,
Well, I
a
can't
fun
wait.
radio discussion.
Is that what you were giggling at before?
No, but it popped. I wanted to do it first segment and I forgot, but we need to
Okay.
have this discussion.
Well, don't forget again. We'll do it on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Okay, a couple of things as we wrap up this hour. Who wants to go first? JP and your fun whatever?
What if y'all have something else to discuss? Y'all go first. Or no?
Well, we can go over Congress if you want to do that. I just thought this was interesting. It's not really a long segment, but they put out the portfolio statuses, stati of, like plural. It's like, let's see, tree eye, not trees. No. So for 2024, top increase by 149% because everybody gets that kind of return on their stock trades,
sure.
right?
Don't you?
I am not up there. David Rouser, Republican from North Carolina.
Never heard of him.
All right, Dave.
Debbie Schultz, Democrat, at 142% return.
Shocker.
Go on down. Then we got Susan Collins. What's sad is in the top 10, probably 7 of them are Republicans. And we claim the moral high ground.
I know. Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Pete Sessions, Susan Collins, David Kustoff. Then you get to Nancy Pelosi, okay, who's below all of these Republicans.
She's got to make it look honest.
Yeah. She was like, y'all are on to me.
I mean, Nancy had a terrible year. She's just at 70.9% return.
Bless her heart.
She might have to go on food stamps.
Okay.
Dan Crenshaw.
Oh, yeah.
What a biscuit.
He's such a biscuit.
61% return.
Okay.
Then we're going Byron Donalds. Ugh, I really like him, but I hear he's kind of a jerk. Actually,
he's fake. I'm not a fan.
What?
Nah, he's squishy. I don't trust him.
Okay, Byron.
Well, he had a 43%. Mitch McConnell, 42%.
Again, just trying to make it look honest, guys.
Here we go.
Plausible deniability.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, measly 30%. Now, I will say that's probably low for her, but it was enough for her to buy her house and go surfing in Costa Rica.
Can I ask a question about MTG?
What?
Was she always like this?
I don't think so. I don't know if she's compromised. I don't know if somebody got to her. I don't know if she literally got inside. It's why I said never go work at a church or never go, really get behind the scenes of an organization. Maybe she got to DC and got so jaded and saw too much, but she's not always been like this. I mean, she left Congress and 2 days later was on The View.
Yeah.
I think she saw an opportunity to further her popularity by being like, I think she saw the MAGA civil war, if you want to say, and I think she just decided to pick a side and be the leader of that side. And I think it was all for political gain and popularity. So no, I don't. I think she hasn't always been like this, but I think her intentions were like selfish and not genuine. So if you're like a Massey and you've always held the principles, and then there's a split, and then you're just kind of naturally the leader of a certain side because you've always been like that, that's one thing. But I feel like Marjorie purposefully like chose to be contrary and be as crazy as she is for gain, selfish gain. That's my take on Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she'll be back running for president in 2028 for sure. I
used to like her, and I think the compromise is the only, like, sort of admire her moxie when we first started out. And then the more that it's gone on, it's the same song and dance. I shouldn't be surprised, but come on.
But what was
MTG.
The impetus for it? Was it just really that Trump showed her poll numbers and said, you shouldn't run for Senate? There's no way that actually is what.
No. It went on way before that.
Yeah.
We only see when they snap. It's been building.
But also, I mean, I think she seems like a person, if you betray her, then she's got her sights on you. And I think she saw Trump as betraying her. So she went full crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, she did.
How do you go from like a Q tard?
Yeah.
Which is exactly what she was. I mean, she was all into Q to then hosting The View. I don't know.
It is interesting. Where's Tuberville on that list?
Tuberville is at the very bottom with 5.7%.
Okay. He was
That's less than the national average.
he
Thank you.
he was doing so well that the Pelosi app put him as like one of their 3 or 4 like politicians to follow, which is why I was wondering, because that's not a good look.
Do you think he was like, yo, 2024, we got to tone it down?
Yeah. Chill.
There's
Relax.
a plan, and we are not in on it for all
Yeah.
of them.
Anyway,
But I'm happy that he's down, 5.7% with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Makes me feel better.
definitely more Republicans than Democrats on this
Well,
list.
we were a party of mercantilism, and
Free market, yeah.
All right, JP.
Well, we got about 5 seconds to the music. So.
What? Can you not tease the story that you want to tell us about?
We gotta do it on a short segment because it's not worth talking about in a long segment with news talk, but it is a funny discussion. We
Okay,
can have.
we'll get
All right,
back
we will.
after the break to
Gosh.
is that our
Nah, that's one of the liners in there. Just
Yeah.
ignore it.
all right, we're coming back to Christy Nome will hang. That's a banger. And then we'll do your story in the segment before James Lindsay at 3:30. Okay, that's the plan. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And not only are Allison and I starting to wear the same colors on the same day, but we're also regularly sending JP the same stories for the montage.
It's going to get really boring if we don't shake it up. Somebody's got to change their algorithm.
I know. We really should, but we're not going to, because the stories we're presenting are stories you need to know.
Well, this one's terrible.
This one's awful, and you can't hear it.
Well,
and you mentioned that in the break, but there's also a lot of language in it, because you can't believe people would gather, this many people gathering in one spot to scream what they're screaming about Kristi Noem and ICE. Really?
We can play the part we played in the montage.
Can we? Let's play that.
Want.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. Let me get it set up here, because it's like 4 minutes long and a bunch of other awful chants. But here's the two main chants that we're talking about that was said.
Save our life! Kill him, ICE! Save our life! Kill him, ICE!
Okay. So for the people in the back, Kristi Noem will hang. And then, does it say stay all night, kill ICE?
No, save a life,
kill
an
ICE.
ICE.
Kill an ICE. Okay. Okay.
And then if you listen to the rest of it,
Sure.
it goes on and they start talking about how, what's her name? The woman that was in the car that ran over the good. What's her first name? Anyway, that she now basically has been inducted into even though she's white and typically the oppressor, she's now been inducted into the cool kids club of that you get to be one of us. I mean, it's the most bizarre whole protest. It's worth finding. I don't even know how you type it. Was it in Minneapolis?
That one I think was not. I can look exactly where that one was, but yeah, that was one of many protests last night where they were chanting similar stuff, but that was like the biggest main one. Which that's a threat. Okay.
Yes,
like,
it is.
That is a direct threat against a federal official.
And you think we're just letting you chant that. Do we chant those kinds of things when things don't go our way? Do we gather and chant Kristi Noem will hang? Do we do that? I mean,
No.
I'm just asking.
No, I was driving in today and I y'all, this is how bad it is. I literally was praying because we had a big meeting this morning. And then I was driving in praying for, today. And this lady on 280 cut me off and I called her a really bad word in my head. And I had guilt. There's no way I could stand there and chant what?
I actually had a moment just like that 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like I was in the middle of praying to the God of the universe. And then I called her a bad word. I could no more, even if I hate you, even if you drive me crazy, even if you're like the most evil, you could never sleep at night if you sat there and chanted, so-and-so will hang. Normal people don't do that.
They don't. And normal people don't do that in a country where you can chant vile things at people and go home to your cozy apartment, communicate to one another on your iPhone. Maybe you have 2 phones. Have a job, show up for that job, have a car, use the car for nefarious purposes or not. You choose. These are first world problems. Meanwhile, in Iran, they are scared for their life, but they are fighting back. I don't know if the internet or the power or any of that has been turned back on. Probably not. But we go out and show what we're doing, and their government is trying to cut off anybody from finding out what's going on. Well, the good news is people are fighting back, but they really are in fear of their lives. And here we go chant about wanting to kill other people that we disagree with. We are not the same. We're not the same. This isn't when we were little kids and our parents maybe had liberal friends and they could just sit out and hang out anyway. We live in a time where we will not only cut you off, we'll show up in a public square and say, we want you to die.
And their logic doesn't even make sense. Okay, think about this. If you're a logical thinker, save a life, kill an ICE. That's not even logical, rational thinking.
No.
Like you're not saving a life. You're just saving the one that you want. And that's what we go back to with this. This whole leftist is a death cult. There's no other way to call it. It's like a satanic death cult, whether it's abortion or, you don't believe what I believe, so we're going to chant death to you. We're going to hang you. We're going to kill you. And actually, if you listen to that clip, there's somebody in the background going, but that doesn't mean you can take somebody else's life. Like they're trying to rationalize, but the guy with the microphone is just doubling down and doubling down. Basically, it sounds like kind of cultish of like, be a martyr. Go do this. You'll go down in history. You can be one of us. It's very weird.
May I reference back to what we talked about yesterday, the rules for radicals? Because I feel like this goes right in line with two of them. Rule number 9, the threat is more terrifying than the thing itself. They're threatening to hang Kristi Noem and to kill ICE agents. But then rule 11, pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, polarize it. So it's and also don't try to attack abstract corporations or bureaucracies. Identify a responsible individual. Ignore attempts to shift or spread the blame. So not only did they have a scary threat that will get, like the shock factor of how crazy what they're saying is. And that's the polarizing of it. And it's a specific individual. They didn't go out and, say, I don't know, ICE is bad or whatever. They specifically say Kristi Noem will hang. So they're picking a specific individual. So once again, you just go back to this is all intentional and somebody is going by these rules. So
did y'all see that they've set up basically their own version of Chaz? You probably don't remember Chaz, but during the Summer of Love in Portland, they set up the barricaded off, like took over the city hall and like police weren't allowed in. And anyway, they've done that in Minneapolis and it's weird. I don't know how they got it. There's all these perfect little like wooden pallets, like everything. It's almost like everything was shipped to them to set up. They've blocked off several blocks that police and ICE aren't allowed into.
Like
Banana Republic.
Like George Soros and Reid Hoffman are funding this, or Neville Singman, or Singham. I mean, it's all just like that. But it does go back to worldview. There is no neutral territory. We cannot share a country with people that are this delusional. They think this is okay. And they clearly are showing they're not going to hesitate to do something about what they feel, which is why our conversation with James Lindsay matters today, because we really want to know his thoughts on what do you do with this? Because you don't, most instances, you don't want to necessarily fight back, but here's one where it's escalated. So what do you do? Are you really thinking we're going to just ignore them? Because they're not going away. They're having trainings. The lady who used her car to hit a police officer was just at a training, an agitator training. Yeah. So we need to be awake and alert to these situations. And do you remember when you were talking about Chaz? Mm-hmm. When they went in to clean it up, how filthy and nasty it was?
Yeah. Remember they would barely let they wouldn't let paramedics in.
No, didn't somebody there was a sexual assault there?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Oh, remember?
I forgot about that, but yeah.
I mean, just vile. You're in a first world country. If you can take over, somebody funds you for all the money you say you hate and capitalist pigs, you're sure willing to take their money so you can go hole up, wall off, and pretend like you have some silly little tribe that you're going to take on the world until you don't.
It reminds me when we were kids and we'd build clubhouses.
Oh, yeah. They're so fun.
Build our own little.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what they're doing. But what's scary is that I think it's easy to go, okay, well, I just won't go near Chaz, or I just won't go near the protests downtown. But like the clip you were looking at before, when it's a father who's just trying to get to pick up his child from school and they've blocked off the road, and he gets out and he says, I'm not going to run you over with my car, but he starts shoving them. And he was like, I've got to get to my child. That's what, like with James Lindsay, how do you respond to that? Because it potentially is coming. to the suburbs. It will be in our own backyard. So I don't think we have to deal with, the huge 1,000 people protests, but we got to be ready for when I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you is maybe at the grocery store. Think about how many people get triggered when they see like a conservative sticker. I mean, there's been some crazy, usually the liberal white women that are probably boomers. Like my grandmother, my grandma Pat, just go off on you. And we had to take one sticker off our car.
Yeah, we did
at one point because we were like,
we had to have security. So that was fun. We loved that.
We did have to have security. Do you want to take a break and then do your story? Because I know we got to take a break.
We do have to take a break. And yeah, I think it sounds good.
Okay. Do we have any texts? Do you want to get to those on the other side?
Sure.
Okay. Lots to do. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So we're going to do two things. One, read some of your texts. And then two, ask JP what discussion question he has for us. JP, text.
I'm kind of nervous.
833
Funny every
687
day. Like it doesn't not get funny.
4448 is the text line number.
Wait, say it one more time.
833 687 4448.
Okay.
Jenkins from Sneed, he says, so we were talking about the stock portfolios of the congressman. He said, heck, my ROI on my portfolio was 76% for last year. So I would believe in a 50% ROI. Invest smart.
I'm sorry.
Well,
what?
he's better than most.
Are you a congressman, Jenkins?
Yeah, we need to just
Secretly
follow his lead.
I know.
Does he have an app?
That's the question. The Jenkins tracker.
Yeah.
Jeff from Indiana, along your point, Allison, said, if they want to save lives, the chance should be save your life, obey ICE.
That's super hard to do.
And then one more. Connor from Huntsville says, I know there's not any data on this, but I was just wondering how many of these older boomer protesters are Woodstock leftovers.
Oh, no, that's a good one.
That's true.
That's good. Like the lady who cried tears.
Yeah, because she was white and didn't feel the need to
She
be.
wasn't Woodstock. She was
Gen X.
She was like wannabe Woodstock. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I didn't want to come here because white tears aren't as good as black tears. Basically.
Yep, basically.
That part about showing no partiality and such. Anyway, JP.
Yes, ma'am.
Your thoughts or something that's been making you smile for basically an hour.
So I saw this last night and I was just like, I gotta ask them about this on the radio because it really it upset me. Okay. But I saw this post about a list of places women absolutely refuse to go to on a first date. And number one is one of my favorite places to go. Okay.
Applebee's.
What?
No. Okay. Yeah.
Wait,
How about
let's
y'all?
Chili's? Wait,
y'all try
we're
and
gonna
guess.
Chili's.
Is it
No.
a restaurant?
Yes.
Waffle House.
No. Think about what JP likes the most food wise, and then
Sweet
Jersey
potato
Mike's.
casserole.
no.
Cheesecake Factory. Okay,
The number one place women refuse to go to on a first date is the Cheesecake Factory.
Do you know why? There are two reasons why.
Please enlighten me. Tell me why.
Because if she's your age, and she should be, I hope, she doesn't want to eat a big old slab of cheesecake in front of you, even though she really wants to. So it's a illusion of, oh, I could never. I'll just have the chicken wrap things that are Chinese chicken wraps. And number two, it's loud in there. And she wants to go somewhere smaller and more intimate and have conversation with you.
I despise the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, come on.
And if I wouldn't, it's a safe place, I guess. I guess in a guy's mind, you're thinking, okay, it's nice. They have a big menu, it's comfortable, but I'm like, it is so oversold. I hate the big menu.
It's too much
everything
food.
wrong with America. Yeah. It's like, they don't just bring you out. You could eat for days. It literally makes me nauseous.
But okay. The way I view the Cheesecake Factory is you come on and get some of the best cheesecake you could ever want. And you know what? For the meal, whatever you want, it's on the menu.
That's true.
You want spaghetti? We got it. You want Asian food? We got it.
Love this.
What about steak? We got that. And then, you know what? At the end of whatever you're feeling, you get this amazing cheesecake. And it's not a hole in the wall. It's a big restaurant. I don't know.
It just says I didn't really put much thought into this.
Well,
Okay, JP.
But I saw that and I was like, are you serious? And I go, maybe this is why I'm still single.
I've got some restaurants in Birmingham for when you take some people out. We've got some things that we're going to recommend for you. Girls want to go to a smaller. Now it can be a chain, but some of them are not necessarily chains. But
I got a solution.
We've got some ideas. Oh, what's the solution?
For
Cook
your
for her?
cheesecake hankering.
What's that?
No, go somewhere special, maybe local, that's not a franchise for dinner. And then if you want, you can go to the Cheesecake Factory and have dessert, or you can be like, hey, we're going to pick it up and then we're going to go have a picnic on the bluff with a candle.
What she said.
And cheesecake.
And okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you can have what you want, your cake, and you can eat it too.
Literally.
Okay. So what are the other places
That's what I
that
was
they
going to
say?
read off. So the rest I understand. Okay. Applebee's 2,
No.
Chili's 3.
Okay, Chili's is where we went in the 90s. Is the only place we had in Knoxville.
We had Chili's
Silver Spoon.
and we
We would
went
go
to
to Silver
Chili's
Spoon.
often because it was right by
Their
is
queso
Dreamland Barbecue.
skillet.
You know where Dreamland is now?
Oh, I remember that.
Like,
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chipotle 4, Olive Garden 5, the movies. Oh, dude, do you know how many times
the movies are great.
The
I would go
movies-
to a movie on a date.
the movies was high school Justin's go-to with the dates? Okay, what is wrong with the movies for your
Nothing
date?
is wrong with the movies.
Okay, Your House 7, any fast food
Oh,
chain.
don't go to the house. Do
Yeah.
not go to the house.
8 is any fast food chain.
Slime ball.
9 is Buffalo Wild Wings, and 10 is Wingstop.
Okay, look,
I'm
I'm a
glad
big
Hooters
fan
isn't
of
on there.
B-dubs and it's great. But if you're going to get it to go. And again, Allison's idea, go to a park, go on a walk, do
Yeah.
something.
Is this first date? Is that what you said? First
Yes,
date?
first date.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. None of, you have to have 4 kids and you got to meet up there. You're way married if you're going to these restaurants. This is not.
But it was just number 1, the Cheesecake Factory. I was like, how can a man get a girl in this world if the Cheesecake Factory is a no-go for number 1? Number
I
1,
love it.
top note. We may be cooked. The
We're-
Cheesecake Factory.
No pun intended.
Yeah, literally. Literally.
Okay, we're switching gears. When we come back, we'll have the James Lindsay with us. You really don't want to miss it. If anything, it'll be a good debate. We'll see. But stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are now joined by the James Lindsay. He was in Birmingham about a year and a half ago, could have been here since. Hello, James. How are you?
I am good. I am the James now. That's amazing. Thank you.
I think it's
you
appropriate.
Are the James. It is appropriate because for your followers, we know who you are. We know that Cynical Theories is among one of the things that you've written, New Discourses podcast, but you're also the person that we first learned critical theory from, and you've done such a good job of helping people to understand the world around us and what's happening. And so that's why you're here, to help us navigate, because you've had a lot to say. I think we both remember there are times when things you've said on your podcast are like, ooh, we want to ask him about that. Starting with watching the events in Minnesota unfold. And Allison was so right. You say, I just kept thinking what you always say, the reaction is the real action. And so could you break down for us what happened? And it looks like it's straight out of the leftist playbook, but how this is all playing out in Minnesota.
Yeah. So just because I'm not a journalist, I'm not going to kind of do a blow by blow with what happened on the street. And that's not actually relevant to the tactic of, it's a little bit relevant to the tactic of, this is a tactic that goes back to Saul Alinsky. It's actually mentioned in Rules for Radicals. It is explored in considerable depth. I really encourage all your listeners to go to a website called beautifultrouble.org. That is beautifultrouble.org. This is actually the updated version of Rules for Radicals that is a very interactive, very accessible manual for how to be a radical activist or a leftist activist in the world today. And they have underneath the list of their principles, they have a whole bunch of things: principles, tactics, history, stories, and so on. But under their heading for principles, they have one called "Your Real Action is Your Enemy's Reaction." And so the idea with that is to provoke your target, be that ICE in this case, be that, back in the kind of Antifa versus Proud Boys days, one side or the other. The goal is to get the other side to react to your provocation in a way that you can then catch on camera or take out of context or tell the story in a way that makes them look bad and discredits them, or that can stimulate, as we're watching now in reaction to what's happened in Minnesota, that can stimulate direct action across other cities. So we see all these protests to denounce ICE, to get rid of ICE, claiming there's all this stuff to support this woman that got shot. And there's a very strong case that can be made that this was a planned script that was going to be used eventually. So they could have written the script for what to do when eventually you have an ICE agent get put into a position where they feel like they have to use force, or lethal force in this case, or it could have just been, another situation like they were trying to arrest somebody and they threw them down really violently, or it could have been a lot of different things. But the script would be to take that scene and present it with ambiguous context, and then to say, look, ICE is out of line. ICE is a problem. Get ICE out of our cities. ICE is provoking all of this violence. Now it's led to somebody's death. Now we have to change everything, right? So you go into the whole problem, reaction, solution kind of model. So the way that works is that same dialectic right there: problem, reaction, solution. They create a problem. Eventually they get a reaction, and then they frame that out as the vehicle to get their solution. And so what they've done now for many, many months, well before President Trump actually took office in January, after he was elected, and even in the campaign last year, but certainly since he's taken office, is that they framed out that ICE, the Immigration Enforcement Agency, is in fact like the Gestapo, that it's Nazi guards, that it's some kind of fascist police force that's going against the will of the states, that's going against the will of the people, that's cracking down on communities. It's, what do they keep calling them? Masked agents of the state, to try to make them sound like they're something other than what they are, which is literally federal law enforcement enforcing immigration law. And so they want a body of people in the population to think, oh my gosh, Trump's ICE agents are out of control. Our police can't do anything about it. We have to do something ourselves. And so they get these people like this woman in Minneapolis who goes out and blocks the street to try to take direct action to block ICE from completing its lawful duties. And then inevitably you're going to get conflicts. Inevitably something's going to happen. And in this case, the woman, whether she's panicking, whether she's, whatever her story was, I don't think she was panicking is what the body cam footage shows at this point, but she decides to gas it. It's ambiguous. I think that's important. It's ambiguous whether she intended to harm the officer or not. The officer interpreted it that she was trying to harm him in a split-second decision, drew a sidearm, fired to the windshield, and struck her and killed her. And so now we've got the ICE reacted to a provocation that was constructed by all of these Democrats and all of these leftists in the media coming out and saying, you have to defend your communities against ICE. Somebody did. It created a problem. The officer got put in a bad situation, reacted, and now they're playing off the reaction. And that's where all the real activity is going to happen. Them doing direct action against ICE is not going to do much to hinder an actual federal law enforcement operation. They've got, good equipment. They can take their time. They're going to be able to mostly get the job done. But what's going to happen is eventually you'll get an incident like this. Once that incident happens, they're going to run a story that ICE is out of control. So now we have to change everything. So you have people claiming now that we need to impeach Kristi Noem. We need to get ICE out of states like Minnesota and California. You have all these politicians posturing, saying F ICE or get ICE the F out of my state or whatever, trying to act like the big tough guys. And they're trying to leverage this story. So they've generated the reaction by the ICE agent that they wanted, that they can run a story that looks very much like the George Floyd playbook that we all lived through in 2020. With some differences, like that the public's not as caught off guard by this. It's winter, not summer. There's some important differences. But anyway, that's kind of the big picture of this provocation.
I think they clearly got what they wanted. In my head, this was a script, and we found out that the woman driving the car was a trained activist, which you can go online and find trainings in your city, even in the South. You don't have to be in Portland or San Francisco or wherever. But, I kept watching that video when it first happened. I kept thinking about you, and you always go, it's the person that's, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not, your little brother that's annoying. Eventually people have to react. So I'm curious, they got their reaction. This is what they wanted. What does it look like? What's the rhetoric out of their camp from here? And what are they aiming for long-term out of this?
Well, the rhetoric out of their camp's actually easy to talk about because they're going to tell you over and over again what they want. They want ICE to stand down. They want to create a constitutional crisis between federal law enforcement and state law enforcement, challenging the supremacy clause of the Constitution, which is in Article 2. It's right at the beginning, pretty much. They want to, like I said, they want to get impeachments of officials like Kristi Noem that they want to get out of office and so on. They also want to extract as much public sympathy as they can to create a mass movement so that people in the midterm elections will come out and vote against Republicans and for Democrats because obviously Trump's agenda is out of control and causing all this mayhem. So you're going to see the rhetoric is just going to play day by day by however the available evidence changes so that they can deliver those same conclusions. Those deliverables won't change. They're going to extract as much as they can operationally. I just want to point out, though, when you say, that this feels very scripted, it is. In the Beautiful Trouble playbook, if you go, I actually want to talk about that a little bit more. Beautiful Trouble, on that, your real action is your enemy's reaction principle hub that they have. It actually says that what you want to do is to script. That's the word they use. You want to script a predictable reaction into your action. So what you want to do is you want to put ICE in a position in this case where you can predict how they're going to react so that you have the script ready to go to deploy. You want that story. People like Tim Walz or any of these other Democrats who've been agitating about ICE, or these people on the news that have been agitating about ICE for months, could have had this script ready to go in the instant where something ugly happened. They also have some other principles on there that matter, like play to the audience that isn't there. I did a little thread on Twitter about that yesterday. They don't care who's actually present. They don't care who's actually seeing it. That's why you have this woman's partner out in the street with a cell phone camera recording the whole thing, where she gets out of the vehicle intentionally to record and provoke law enforcement. And this principle is that the sympathetic audience on the internet is much more, meaning the leftists that are on the internet that are going to see this or that are going to watch CNN and hear the story only through their context. That is the much more important audience than what's actually happening in the immediate vicinity. So they're actually creating a theatrical performance in order to move a political ball.
Yes.
And the activists that are trained to do this on purpose. You could see this in the new body cam footage that's now dropped. You can see how very clearly both women involved knew exactly what to do and when to do it, to get out of the car, to get the camera, to say provocative things. Mm-hmm. She says U.S. citizen. So she's very clearly demarcating that she's a U.S. citizen and that she's, got the authority to be able to do this. You got the other woman sitting there doing kind of provocations, and then she decides to floor it with her car. But she was taught to park her car in the road that way and then to get out and to film the scene. This is all orchestrated in order to play to an audience that isn't there. I'm not touching you game refers to what is another principle on. This is why I'm telling your listeners, beautifultrouble.org is their playbook. You can learn how they're going to play ahead of time by going and reading it. And in this case, it's called Put Your Target in a Decision Dilemma. That's the name of that principle.
Oh, wow.
This is the classic little kid thing. That's also called mid-level violence. So what you do is that you do something that's provocative, like block traffic and spout off at the officers, resist arrest. You do something that's provocative, but that's below the threshold that justifies, say, engaging with force by the officers. Mm-hmm. So the officers either have to stand down, and now ICE has just lost to federal law enforcement has just now backed down to an everyday citizen, or they have to escalate, as happened in this case, and then they get framed out as a bad actor. So this is a lose-lose situation they put in. The I'm not touching you, big brother bullying thing is the model here. And the way that works is, I'm not touching you. And so since I didn't touch you yet, you're not justified in hitting me back because I didn't touch you. But on the other hand, I'm driving you insane. Right. And so you either have to just deal with it or get in trouble for hitting me. But the trick is with the kids, with the brothers, if we're picturing two brothers doing this, the authority outside, the watching audience you're actually playing to is mom. You want mom to not know that I was playing, I'm not touching you. Yes. You want mom just to know that the little brother hit back. Mom, he hit me. Well, you take the provocation out of the story and all of a sudden it looks like, an unprovoked attack happened. Mom gets mad and I get in trouble. But on the other hand, or he gets in trouble, I'm sorry. On the other hand, the way that you overcome this is that you make very clear to the watching audience what's going on. So you say, Mom, he's saying, I'm not touching you. He's got the finger in my face. If he keeps it up, I'm going to hit him. And if mom doesn't want anybody to get hit, she's got to step in and cut it out, both of you. You're in trouble for provoking your brother. And if she doesn't care, then, sometimes there's FAFO in these kinds of situations. But you have to make the watching audience aware of the whole story. And this is the kind of game that the left is always playing. They're taking things out of context. They're writing a script. They're putting people in decision dilemmas or lose-lose situations. They're banking on your reaction. And like I said, this manual, beautifultrouble.org, tells you how they do all of this. There's hundreds of principles on there that tell you how they do everything they do.
We've got to take a break, and we didn't talk about it before, but you can't leave yet. You got to stick around for another segment. So we're going to take a break. And then on the other side, I want to know what your thoughts are on how the federal government should proceed from here. Because we're clearly in a struggle session.
Yeah, we are.
A decision dilemma. And I want your thoughts. So if you'll stick around, we'll be right back with James Lindsay.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We have been joined by the James Lindsay. Okay. Casual. So we have about 4 minutes. So rapid fire, 2 questions. I'll do the first, Allison the second. Also, we'd love to do a podcast with you sometime soon.
It's just going to have to happen.
It's just going to have to happen because we want to spend hours asking you questions. All right. Number 1, what should the federal government's response be in this situation?
Well, the thing is with being in a decision dilemma, like we talked about in the last segment, is you can't back down, nor can you overreact. The most important thing to do is actually a third activity first. It's not to take either road. It's in fact to try to clarify the situation and your intended actions as much as you can ahead of time. The federal government should therefore make very clear that it's operating under the Supremacy Clause, that it has every right to conduct its law enforcement, that it will continue doing so, and to give the Minnesotans an opportunity to adjust their behavior and then to proceed as they said that they were going to do. And they should act, of course, minimally, not excessively. There shouldn't be some huge act of retaliation or any of this stuff. But the key is clarifying to that audience that isn't there, the watching public, what's going on, why it's going on, and why the federal government is justified in its authority to continue doing what it's doing, and that these Minnesota activists are out of line.
That's good.
Totally shifting gears. We have about 2 minutes. What the heck is going on with Tucker Carlson? We're just going to get canceled right now, but I have to know your thoughts on Tucker Carlson being aired on Iranian TV when nobody else has power. State-run TV is running Tucker Carlson. What is that all about?
He aligns with what they want people to believe, so they're playing it. Why he aligns that way is not entirely clear to me. It feels to me like he has veered increasingly in that direction for a long time. And now it's become vaguely undeniable since they're airing him with nothing else on Iranian TV. So it seems that Tucker has aligned himself with a thread of thought that is more sympathetic to the Iranian regime that is at threat of being toppled and other regimes on the planet than he is maybe with mainstream American views, or certainly with the Persian people. And what his motivations are unclear, but it appears that his rhetoric matches their ambitions rather than, say, President Trump's ambitions.
I mean, my first thought was like, okay, so he's working for the Iranian government. And then that sounded kind of crazy. And then I was like, well, no, they just really like Tucker Carlson's podcast. Well, either way, that's kind of weird and kind of a problem. We saw him in Birmingham recently and he was awesome. I mean, he was great. But then he does things like this and you're like, there's a tension there. I cannot figure out where to fall.
So it's been posited that perhaps he is deconstructing his faith. Could that be something he's doing?
That's totally possible. I mean, he's given some defenses of Sharia law recently as well. He has this kind of laugh that he does after he says that, he thinks the whole point of life is submitting to God. But of course, the Muslims mean something slightly different to what Jews and Christians mean when they say that. So it's possible that he's taking apart his faith. It's also possible that, the very prosaic and simple answer is somebody's paying him to say things that are out of alignment with what he might have said in the past. So it's unclear to me. I don't know his motivations, but it's very clear that he's off message, that his message is actually more in alignment with whatever's going on with the Islamic Republic of Iran than with the freedom-loving America that he used to speak to. And it's, I think, extremely concerning.
I want bow tie Tucker Carlson back. That little guy was so Southern and cute. He might be gone. James Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us. It really was an honor to have you here. And if we all get canceled, I don't really care. It's a good discussion and we can disagree. I was certain you would call me a Christian nationalist, but you haven't done that yet. So I appreciate that. But really so thankful for you coming on. And we would love to do a podcast long form, which is more our vibe.
It is.
Anyway. So
let's do that sometime.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Just wrapped up an interview with James Lindsay, and we will get to work on that podcast very quickly because we have so many questions.
I feel like we could have talked forever, and
yeah,
it's just like having an encyclopedia in front of you. You just want to.
Yeah, if you ever
through.
want to know a definition, he's got a really helpful dictionary of words. Obviously, that's what a dictionary is. But you can look things up because you think, I've heard that. I don't know what it means. Just go to James Lindsay or the New Discourses podcast. And then don't forget, because guess what, guys? We will be going through beautifultrouble.org and we'll be going to look at their tactics because some of you know we went through Rules for Radicals yesterday as a refresher because that's what's going on. And now we're going to check out beautifultrouble.org next and go through that in the next couple of weeks. But we're going to pivot because it's Friday. And Friday means something special for our show. It means JP on sports.
JP on sports! Just one of those girls. We just need one, JP, and you can take her to
girls,
the
where
Cheesecake
are
Factory.
They have to like the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but
JP,
we can
real
dream.
quick, what's your favorite flavor of cheesecake?
Strawberry.
Okay,
Yeah.
Strawberry.
got you.
However, Cheesecake Factory's Hershey's one is really good too.
It's delicious. I like that one a lot.
Oh, man, it's
Allison.
so good.
It's all I
Okay,
hear.
all right. Take it away.
Okay, so the woke ESPN continues its wokeness and continuing to alienate their viewers while also keeping away conservatives like Sage Steele from being a part of ESPN. But Mina Kimes, who I like to refer to as the ESPN NFL DEI girl, because that's what she is. She said that if you don't agree with her that the ICE agent was wrong when he shot the lady in Minneapolis, then quote, you are not a real human. And when apparently Outkick, who's covering the story, reached out to her for comments, she had no comment in response. But this is my question, okay? Are we ever going to get sports back to just sports? Or is ESPN ever going to walk back and realize that their numbers are plummeting? Or are they going to continue to allow people like Mina Kimes to use their platform to just virtue signal? Because this is what this is how I see this. This is like, it's the only thing I can think of is Mina Kimes has a bubble to be. It's almost like Mina Kimes was not good enough to be a sports person, not good enough to be a politics person. So because she is a minority Asian woman who can just at least articulate thoughts, I think she saw this as a place to be different. And now she has a safe bubble to be stupid and have no repercussions because she's got a pad, safety with ESPN that she's never going to be let loose for her statements. So it's almost like a subsidized stupid person. It is a good way to put it. A subsidized stupid person.
I have a solution.
What's that?
Well, I have an exercise we could do with Mina. What's her name?
Mina Kimes.
I don't know. Do I know her?
You do. If
you
you saw
probably
a
recognize
picture,
her.
You'd go, okay, I've seen her before.
Mina Kimes. Look, there's a parking lot out here. I want you to go stand at the end of it. I'm going to start heading towards you in my car. We're going to see how you feel. Like, is that not life-threatening? I mean, if you...
You probably know her if you saw her on ESPN. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. I mean, what does she think? Okay, if you were backing the guy, if you were backing the ICE agent for defending himself, you are not a human.
Right.
Okay. But I'm going to drive my car into you and that makes me human to be able to do something like that. I mean, you can't have it both ways. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you got to defend yourself. And I'm pretty sure if there was a car coming straight at her, she would want to have a gun or a way to stop it.
But here's my thing. Why is ESPN allow their talent to say stuff like this? If you're in a perfect world, ESPN, which is, it's literally in the name, a sports network, why would they let their talent say such divisive things like that? Because you lose so many viewers when you do that. But that's why ESPN is like a propaganda channel now, because it's like I said, these people who are too stupid to talk politics, and they're a DEI hire, so they can talk, they can act like they know what they're talking about with sports. So now that they're safe and they know they're not going to get fired, they can be stupid for free or not. Well, they get paid to be stupid, but they know they're not going to have any punishment. But why, in a perfect world, ESPN would say, look, you're not going to alienate our viewers saying stupid crap like this. Stick to sports. That's it. That's all you need to do.
What I know the answer to this, but what does the E in ESPN stand for?
Entertainment, I believe. Let me look it up, what ESPN stands for.
That's why they're going to let her say what she wants.
If
Even though their numbers are plummeting and, people aren't watching anymore. You knew that they were in trouble when they brought as Michael or Jason Whitlock says, the supermodels in to moderate the shows that they know nothing about, and then kick out people like Sage Steele and others who were very good.
Right.
Michelle Tafoya, for example, is the GOAT. There's a couple of them that are really, really good at their job. Erin Andrews is actually really good at her job, but mainly they brought these DEI hires in, and they don't know what they're talking about, but it is entertainment. They're telling you who they are first. They're entertainment. And that's why I don't think they'll ever get rid of any of this stuff, even though what she says is pure nonsense.
Well, it's actually surprised Scott Van Pelt still has a job. Did y'all see that clip of what Scott Van Pelt did on his show on New Year's Eve?
When he was...
Bless it.
Whenever they were doing a live...
they're making out.
Yeah, they were doing a live viewing of the ball dropping, and they cut to all these people kissing at midnight, and it cuts to two guys kissing, and he goes... Oh, what do we have here? We have love in the air. It's like he sawed down the barrel of a shotgun, probably. But if you're playing the same rules like with Mina Kimes, if Scott Van Pelt said, "What are we doing? Why are we showing that?" He can't get fired for saying that, but he would have.
Yes,
and that's the
absolutely.
thing. He would have, because ESPN is a propaganda channel now where they talk sports, yeah, but they're going to virtue signal while talking sports. And you can say all the divisive and awful things about conservatives and conservatism all you want. But if you dare say anything about men playing in women's sports, or if you dare say anything about Christianity or conservatism, you're fired and you're out faster than you can even blink. So that is the problem. And I grew up, I was one of the kids that would eat breakfast every morning, eating my Cinnamon Toast Crunch on the couch before school, watching Sports Center, watching the top 10, watching, that's what I did every morning. I can't even tell you the last time I watched ESPN. Yeah. I watch ESPN whenever my team's playing, or I go to watch a game like last night. I'm not watching their programs because they suck, because they have alienated the true sports loving journalists and, talent for DEI virtue signalers.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And so it's sad, but I wonder if we're ever going to get back to a place where, and this is why like Barstool is becoming so popular. I'm not really big. I like certain Barstool people because they're funny. I do think they promote degeneracy with gambling and all that a bit too much for my liking, but that is why they've become so popular, because it's not woke crap. They talk about gambling and sports, and that's like, whereas at least they're truthful about what they are, where ESPN says, we're a sports channel. Oh, by the way, here's all of our virtue signaling about racism and everything, woke, and you have to watch it or else you're a racist and you're not a real human being. So are we ever going to get back to a place where we can have ESPN just stick to sports? As long as they're owned by Disney, I would say no. And I would say that they would feel it in their bank account because people aren't watching as much anymore. But obviously not. So it's disappointing. But I don't know. And Ryan Clark as well. I don't know if y'all have seen Ryan Clark, who's a NFL coverage guy, and he's had to apologize 3 times on TV the last several months for stuff he said on air. He first of all belittled one of his colleagues, saying, I played the sport, you didn't. Therefore, I know what I'm talking about. I had to apologize after that. He also had to apologize because the tragic LSU player that committed suicide after he was arrested and was going to go to jail for reckless driving, where somebody died. Then there was footage that came out that allegedly proved him innocent. it didn't. It was debunked a day later by the police department. But when the lawyer put that video out, he goes on ESPN and says how Louisiana police is racist. This is another example of a black man who's no longer here and lost his career because the police thought he was guilty when he wasn't, and he was just wrong. And he had to apologize for that. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe you need to find better talent. Maybe that's it. Maybe just because somebody is a minority and, either played a sport, talked a sport, that doesn't just give you free reign to be a propaganda channel and virtue signal.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is it wrong to say that I played the sport and you didn't?
It's wrong to do it. And yes,
it is.
It's wrong
because I'm assuming, let's see, what sports did you play?
Football, baseball, basketball up till freshman year. Yeah.
Okay.
And I did MMA.
Okay. I played 1 year of junior league basketball, scored 1 point on a free throw. I say I was more of a defensive player. I've never played baseball. I've never played football. I'm assuming you know more. Why is that wrong to say? I mean, like I can analyze the game and I can watch and I can call a play. I can do whatever, but like I've never been in a game. So what's...
It's wrong to belittle your colleague on air like that when you're on the same panel because they were talking football and it was an ESPN. It was an analyst, like a guy who probably was a stats nerd in high school and loves football. And they were disagreeing on a topic and Ryan was getting mad because they were disagreeing. And he just went to, well, I played, you didn't. Therefore, you're wrong.
Okay.
So that's what that was. And yeah, it's wrong to do that publicly to your colleague on the same panel.
I thought it was like, I didn't know it was a colleague, but
in
general, I would assume if you played, you know a little more.
Right. They're not getting a basketball analyst to talk football. It was a fellow football analyst, but they disagreed and said, well, I played in the league and you didn't. Therefore, you're wrong. Anyways, I don't know. It's sad what's happening to ESPN, but unless Mina Kimes actually has to issue an apology or is put on leave or something, because it's one thing to just put up a post on Instagram about whatever, some political belief, but you're not a human being if you don't agree with me. That's a bit more, that's different.
Dramatic and dogmatic and is unnecessary.
What if the ICE agent had been the one driving the car and the liberal woman was the one that shot the ICE agent?
Oh, there wouldn't be a peep.
Right.
Mm-hmm. JP on sports.
Wait, are we not going to talk Ole Miss?
I mean, we can talk
Miami. We can do
it
on
we
the
did.
other side.
Oh, for sure. No, we can just talk about it real quick. It was a great game last night, and I'm upset because I wanted to see Lane Kiffin eat his decision. But
same.
It was a great game. It was a very competitive game. I mean, Miami's gonna get killed by Indiana, so it doesn't really matter. But it was a great game. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the best. Like the fourth quarter was bonkers.
It was awesome.
So good.
Awesome.
Carson Beck got his revenge. It looks like he made the right decision leaving Georgia after all.
Yeah.
It was good.
That's all I wanted to say.
Lane Kiffin, though, man, I really wanted to see him have Ole Miss win a national championship without him, but alas.
Still not sure how it's going to work out at LSU.
Oh, it's going to be great because it's LSU.
I don't know if I'm buying that. Okay. On the other side, we'll get back to some montage topics and some more news. We'll be right back.
So I want to remind you, Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. Look, I know this audience. You're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles. You're good stewards of what you have for resources. What if the companies you are investing in, though, don't reflect your values at all? Well, that's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. Look, they can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors. You got to check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. That's Inspire Advisors, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
so this is going to be good.
Yeah, JP's got a smirk. It's got to be good.
I mean, come on, man. So we're Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with
Sorry.
Allison Sinclair.
Hair's falling
JP's
down.
clearly doing a streak with somebody.
No. I was reading a text. Sorry.
Okay.
You were
All right.
crying on Snapchat.
So
I don't do
here's-
Snapchat.
Okay.
for you.
Sure. I'm glad.
I actually don't.
No, I'm really glad. So for the rest of the day, here's how it's going to go. We've had an amazing Friday. We have gotten to talk about news from the montage. We had the opportunity to interview the James Lindsay about what's going on in Minnesota and really learn more about tactics and strategies, what the government can do in response to what's gone on. We even dabbled in a little of the what in the world's happening with Tucker Carlson.
I'm sorry. I had to ask that one.
Well, that's what everybody
Totally
wants to
off
know.
topic, but-
Another perspective on that is Steve Deace from Tuesday. Second hour talks about it. It's a very interesting conversation.
Tucker?
That's where, yes,
Huh.
the idea of deconstruction has come from. JP on sports. And now text after text, some more news, and then we'll wrap up the day. JP, take it away.
So I feel like Brad from Crimestone County is calling me old here. Okay.
Is he really?
Is it because you're bald?
You're 23.
Not 23 yet. 20
Come on.
in a week.
In a week.
It's almost.
Brad from Crimestone County says, today's complaining about politics on ESPN feels a bit like my generation's complaining that MTV quit playing music videos. It seems inconceivable that ESPN and MTV can survive when they quit offering their main product. But then again, perhaps brain rot and propaganda were always their main product. And perhaps we are no longer their target audience because this hurts to admit we have aged out.
Brad's just a contrarian, and I appreciate that. I mean, Brad's just gonna say the opposite and find something. So I think you chew on it.
Let me say this. Okay. Brad, I grew up watching Stuart Scott and the fellas on ESPN when it was real ESPN. I have seen with my own eyes the progression from real ESPN to Disney woke ESPN. It was not always brain rot and propaganda. And I've not aged out of it because I've seen the transition within my own lifetime of 22 years. So no, I don't think that's it. I think they got a lot of rich people that have an agenda, and it's not always been that way though.
Well, I mean, back when Stuart Scott was there, may he be enjoying his heavenly reward.
Rest in peace.
They really were breaking barriers. They really were doing great work.
Booyah.
Doing what nobody else did. Now it's pathetic, really.
Isn't it crazy though that Stuart Scott invented the booyah? Booyah. And now it's the thing. He also
He invented it.
He
It's
did.
just like
booyah.
Gore. What's his name?
Man,
Al Gore saying he invented the internet.
Yes.
He also came up with cool like the other side of the pillow. That was also Stuart Scott.
See you around like a donut. Did he come up with that one?
No, I don't think I've actually never heard that one.
That's
Oh.
good. That's real good. But he was a GOAT.
Yeah, he was.
And that was when ESPN was the GOAT. Now they've become Big E Entertainment, Little S Sports, P Propaganda Network.
They used to be really funny.
Goodbye.
SportsCenter was hysterical.
It was because you know why? It was people that actually loved sports and were funny.
Yeah.
Now it's people that we like sports, but we like the agenda of sports. We like saying how the NFL is racist. We like the idea of sports, and sports is our avenue to virtue signal. That's where the key has changed. So, no, I don't think we've aged out.
That was a really short segment, but on the other side, I've got an exciting news update.
Oh, I
Have
know
to
what
do
your
with
update
Doge.
Are we doing the 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'll get ready.
Don't take mine.
Okay.
If it's about Doge, don't do it.
Oh.
We'll be back.
Hey, my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing, and they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And we are going to do a quick round of the three where each of us take a story.
Wait.
What?
Say it again.
The three.
There you go.
Thank you.
Somebody just wrecked.
Yeah, sorry.
And then in this rain with that, sound effect. But we love the sound effect. Take a story that we haven't had a chance to cover and go round table. So, Allison Sinclair.
I have to go first?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so excited. So excited. JP, you're going to love this.
Am I?
Doge is back. Guess who's the new committee chair?
Tim Burchett.
Yes! Our favorite.
Wow.
Probably actually James Lindsay's congressman because James lives right like in Knoxville. Well, Maryville. But I don't know if we have time to play this clip, but he's so excited and he's talking about he thinks he has the guts to do it. Dadgummit, he's got the guts.
Will he be allowed to do it?
I don't know. And I don't know what this means. He said, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I guess, was the chairwoman.
Mm.
Can we say chairman if it's a woman?
Can we call her Margie now?
Marge.
Marge.
You do?
Marge. It's Marge that quit. All right. Okay, Marge.
Was Marge from Minnesota, right?
Marge is from Minnesota.
That's good.
Amy Beth has a
she,
character.
Well, she hasn't come out on this show yet.
Now she has.
Marge.
So Margie is out. She's living it up in Costa Rica.
She's no longer MTG if you're nasty. She's Marge now.
Bless it.
So,
hey, girl can do a pull-up though.
Yes, she can.
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is of the the House committee, like chairman, whatever.
Yeah,
of the
I'm not
Doge.
really sure what it means, but I'm excited for him.
So yeah, I'm excited for him too. My question is, because we've only codified like 9 billion of the 100 and something billion that was found in Doge. And you know what it was? It was the easy political spin one of NPR and PBS, which I'm for. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the only reason they did those was because it was like so easy to sell. You can't sell a lot of the other ones if the Republicans and Democrats are making money off of those. So I guess I don't want this to just become Tim, you go have fun, do your thing, and he's not really getting anything accomplished. But I'd be loved to be proved wrong. And I know one thing's for sure. If that were to happen, he's going to walk out of the Capitol with his phone and be like, y'all cannot believe what I was just told by this guy. He told me to not do, and he would air it out. So there's that. I would love to see that.
I have an idea though. So, yesterday JD Vance was touting that they're going to have these new attorney general assistants that are going to investigate fraud in each state. I mean, just put Doge in charge of investigating that fraud. That'll give you something to do. Because apparently it's everywhere.
Yeah.
If y'all were in charge of Doge, what's the first thing you would go look into?
Foster care.
Oh.
The first thing I would look into. That's a good question. I think I would look into Act Blue and that sort of stuff.
That's good. That's good.
Because
That's really good.
There's an NGO. Obviously, I mean, this was all aired out. Nothing's been done about it. But the NGO loop where people are getting paid back, politicians getting paid back. That's where I would go into. But then again, that whoever exposes that probably
You're unalive.
Yeah. So I don't. That'd probably be one of the first ones for sure. It'd be. Oh, I gotta play my Doge sound effect.
You have
Doge.
That's good.
Doge.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like it. We're gonna bring it back.
Can't wait.
Be interesting. I mean, who better? Like he's into aliens and all these things. Just let him have at it.
I gotta go find the video of when I debuted that for the first day. I think me and Phil cried laughing for like 2 minutes straight. It was
so
such a
good.
great sound effect.
Phil laughing.
So good.
Am I next or you next?
Well,
ladies first.
Okay, I'm gonna be quick. This is really quick because I found this and Chris read this, but this is just a quick little thing. Because it talks about our society and everything. It wraps up everything we've talked about this week. In The Abolition of Man, C.S. Lewis argues that when a society stops believing in objective virtue, it doesn't become tolerant, it becomes manipulable. He calls a result men without chest, people with appetites and intellects, but no courage, no honor, no trained moral instincts. They can calculate everything and defend nothing. Lewis saw that once we reject inherited moral law, we don't become free. We become raw material, easy shaped by propaganda, pleasure, and fear. Modern man prides himself on compassion while quietly surrendering every standard that once gave compassion meaning. Lewis's insight is brutal. A civilization that educates clever cowards will eventually be ruled by tyrants or technicians. Because when nothing is worth dying for, everything becomes negotiable, including human dignity.
Yikes.
It's true.
Isn't that our whole entire week?
It really is. It's not a very light note to end the week.
It's
on.
not.
But that
It's
was
not.
really good.
But I couldn't pass it up because
that's really
we've had the James Lindsay on. We did Rules for Radicals yesterday. We're going to go explore beautifultrouble.org. But part of the reason we're here is to remind ourselves of what we're actually dealing with. And it's a society of men without chest and more clever cowards.
No testicular fortitude.
No testicular
You want me to
fortitude.
get my gumballs?
And, yeah, please, if you would.
Double bubble.
But we want to push back against that. And that's what we're doing, one show at a time. There you go.
That's good.
It's my turn now.
Yes, sir.
Latest on Iran.
Oh, gosh. Still playing Tucker?
No. The Iranian Revolution. Apparently, so it's escalating. There was rumors from Israeli sources that Khamenei, the Ayatollah, had already fled to Moscow.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's true or not. However, Trump and the Ayatollah are now going back and forth because the Ayatollah said something to the effect of like kind of daring Trump to do something, or kind of calling his bluff, I guess. And Trump calls back to the Ayatollah and says that the U.S. is going to take effect if this continues, because I think there was a lot of protesters last night that were slaughtered. I saw a number of like 60 or so.
Yeah.
But Trump essentially said that eventually Khamenei is going to flee the nation, and that the U.S. is going to hit them hard and they're going to crumble. Which I don't like it, man. Like, what? Like, what's the need for us to get involved in this? You know what I mean? Like, they're having their revolution. Cool. Obviously, they don't need us. They're already overthrowing the Iranian regime. I don't like protesters getting slaughtered, but we're not the world's policemen, and we're not needing to go into Iran and affect, have any sort of sway in their revolution. Like, clearly they're doing what they need to do. Khamenei probably will be fleeing to Moscow soon if this continues, because of how successful it's being. I've seen a bunch of videos of police forces joining the protesters. So first of all, what is going to fill that vacuum in Iran? Okay, that's where my brain initially goes.
Yeah.
Because
That's a good thought.
for how long the U.S., Israel was obsessed with overthrowing Assad. And I'm not saying Assad's a good guy, okay? However, what Assad did do was protect the minorities, and the religious minorities, and the minorities in general in Syria from being attacked by terrorists. Now, obviously, he attacked his own people and such, but after 20-something years of that, Assad finally falls. And what has filled that vacuum in Syria? A literal Al-Qaeda. He was on our watch list, or our wanted list.
Right.
And now he's in the Oval Office shaking hands with Trump as the leader of Syria. And what happened immediately? The slaughter of Christians in Syria, the slaughter of religious minorities in Syria. So obviously what filled that vacuum is not good. So I understand the Ayatollah is not good. I'm not a pro-Ayatollah guy. I'm just saying, first of all, we don't need to get involved, okay, because it's just pointless in my opinion. And it's a risk we don't need to take. Israel and the protesters can handle that on their own. But then second, are we so sure what's going to fill that vacuum in Iran is going to be good?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because we weren't alive the last time. I mean, we were alive, but babies. You weren't even here the last time that the king was in power. So we don't know, because he managed to develop relationships with, I guess, organizations that would hurt him. So, and they did. So it's a good question. I mean, is he a good guy? I don't know. He's speaking out a lot. He's doing a lot of interviews. You can see the king for yourself if you just go on and look on X. So that's a good question. What will fill that void? I don't know.
I just don't want us to get stuck over there.
Right.
No.
No
more.
It doesn't ever work.
No. I mean, if it's in our own hemisphere and it's like Venezuela and we're in and out, yeah, awesome. Great. But it just seems like one of those things that we're being baited to be involved in when we don't need to be. And it's just an unnecessary risk, in my opinion. But I think it's just worth talking about, giving an update, because it's continuing to progress. And 2026 has just started. We've already got Maduro sacked in Venezuela. We've potentially got Greenland talks coming soon, which, by the way, this could have been my story. Apparently, Greenland is looking to bypass Denmark and just meet with the United States without their approval,
which is fabulous.
Yeah. So,
and keep your $10,000 too. Like, stop paying it.
It's kind.
Yeah. What are you getting for that, guys?
It's kind of like the friend of the girl you're getting with saying she's not interested. Denmark saying Greenland's not interested. It's a hypothetical. It's a joke. Denmark saying Greenland is not interested. The United States
not at Cheesecake Factory.
I wonder if Rubio will take the Greenland Prime Minister to Cheesecake Factory.
That would seal the deal.
That would seal the deal.
I think that 2026 is going to be a heck of a year. And I asked y'all, though, earlier this week, I said, if protesters start dying, does the U.S. get involved? And and basically Trump said yes.
Yeah.
So he's doing what he said. It's almost like he knew, like we needed an excuse.
Yep.
Like we were counting on a reaction to justify our actions. I don't know. But I'm not really good with another Afghanistan or another. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. The only positive spin on it is, again, Russia letting their guy, their sphere of influence just and not doing anything about it. I think that just shows the change. That's the only positive I can spin from it,
Yes.
So
that was a good sound effect.
Yeah.
We should record that one.
Yeah, we should. Put it on the board now.
That's it. Okay. Friday's almost over. I can't believe it, but I can. And can y'all hear the rain?
Oh yeah. It just stopped just now, but yeah.
Is that what we were hearing?
Yes. It was rain.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It was rain.
You said tornadoes in Birmingham?
So Huntsville, Birmingham, they're in a level 2 out of 5 tornado risk, I believe, today.
James
tonight.
Spann's gonna have his suspenders on.
Mhm.
Jacket off. Okay, one more segment. Would you rather? We'll be right back.
to Rightside Radio. We're here wrapping up a Friday, finishing up the week. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And we finished all the things, all the stories.
All the things.
And now it's time for what we do every day at the end of the show. JP?
Are you spinning the wheel?
Yeah, y'all ready for the wheel?
Yeah.
So excited.
This is for our new friends. Would you rather? Play along with us.
Would you rather live in a world where AI has solved climate change but restricts how we live, or keep human control despite okay?
You got woke. Would you
All
rather?
right, let's do another. Let's do
Yeah,
another.
no, I don't like that one. I'm going with forget AI. I'm all for changing climate. Bring it on.
Would you rather be a great chef who loves his job, or have a great chef cook for you?
Great chef who loves his job.
A great chef cook for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that whenever I like my dad. That's part of the things I miss leaving. Is I can just be like, Dad, I'm
Orange
hungry.
rolls now.
Dad, I'm hungry. Well, what do you want? We have this. We could do this. We could do this. We could do this. Yeah, but now I got to cook for myself.
It's not nearly as fun.
Yeah, I want to have
It's
somebody there to cook. For
It's
me.
not as fun.
No, I agree. Okay, let's do another.
It's so funny.
I have a question.
Yeah.
After this one.
Would you rather ask for help with a difficult task, or figure out how to do it yourself?
Figure out how to do it myself.
Figure out how to do it. Well, there's a point of diminishing returns. There's a point where you will go insane.
That's true.
Okay.
Can you split the difference?
If it's with work, I'm figuring it out. If it's with something like stupid, like I don't want to mess with it, then I'll ask for help. But if it's like there's a problem and I like to my detriment almost, I will figure it out. But yeah, it depends on what the thing is.
Yeah, like the dishwasher. It was fun. I kicked it. It worked. And then when it didn't, I was done. Okay, here's my question.
Yes.
When you said food critic, it reminded me, like, what is, if, I know we all love what we do, and this kind of is a dream job, but what is your dream job?
You go first. Do you have one in mind?
Well, I can't answer because then you'll make fun of me.
No, this is a judgment-free zone.
We don't judge. We listen and don't judge.
I've done all my dream jobs.
There's nothing else you want to do?
No.
Abs. That's not true. I know that's not true.
I've wanted to do this since I was 8. So this was my degree in college and I did it, but this is just the latest version of that. And so I'm living in answered prayer.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I actually never had a dream. Well, I was like every other young boy. My dream job was to be an athlete, like a professional athlete. But once I like grew up and realized that was not a thing, I could not figure out what I wanted to do. But it's kind of funny how God put me here, because like I couldn't have told you what the thing was, but now that I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, yep, this is it. But if you're asking what like my dream job, what I wanted to do before I got into this, y'all gonna laugh.
We're not going to we listen and we don't judge.
I dropped out of college. I was lost and I did not know what to do with myself. And I always wanted to I always loved MMA. I wanted to be in the UFC. And I trained for 3 hours a day for a year, and I had 2 fights, and I was going down that path.
And then what happened?
And then I was like, getting punched in the face every day kind of sucks.
I'd rather go hang out with 2 old women.
And it's lonely, and it was awesome. Like, it's one of those things I'm glad I did. I'm glad I went down that rabbit trail, because
we have security with us at all times.
Getting punched in the face isn't all I thought it would be.
The story of my fights though are funny, because we drove to Myrtle Beach at 3 a.m. Me, my coach, and one of my teammates who was going to be in my corner, and it was in the lobby, the convention center of a hotel on Orange Beach, or not Orange Beach, excuse me, Myrtle Beach. And I woke up at like 7 a.m. and had a fight at like 8 a.m. Just literally rolled out of bed and was in a ring fighting somebody in the next hour.
No way.
My 2 fights were within an hour of each other.
Oh, sure. Okay. And did you win?
I won the first one by knockout.
Oh. Oh,
I did not win the second one.
okay.
But it was I'm glad I did it. But yeah, that was my other dream job. Like the other job that I tried to do before this one.
Allison?
So I do have to say, I would have never dreamt I would be sitting where I am. It's the most bizarre story, but I feel like it's exactly where I'm supposed to be. But if I could choose, I have always said I would be a world traveling food critic.
That's good.
Oh,
You
that's
can
good.
travel and
That's
just
good.
eat your way through
Really
really good meals, really good countries, which they're all different. We're not a globalist team here. We like differences in countries, different foods.
Yeah.
Like what could go wrong? Nothing.
Get paid
Maybe
to
like a
eat.
drink. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
I love it.
that was it. Maybe someday. That's why I would take the travel instead of the $50,000 from the other day.
Yes.
Okay. So you could eat all the
Just
food.
eat my
Yeah.
way through the world.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, y'all have an awesome weekend. Monday will be here quickly. We have actually a ton of guests coming on next week. Stay tuned. Follow us on social media, Rightside Media. We'll see you Monday.